This is a tool to use when things come up and you are ready to shift them, but not just shift them mentally, not even just shift them somatically. This is for you to easily collapse time to the timeline that you actually want to live on, but also be energetically aligned with that timeline mentally and physically. It is my tool that I usually reserve for my private clients, and it is called Align Soul Alchemy. A lot of people will call the thing that I'm talking about shadow work. I call it Align Soul Alchemy. It is a quantum healing method, and it is a method that combines a lot of different modalities into one so that you can have a complete transformation. Those of you who do not know me, I'm Christine Michelle. I am the frequency shifter. I am the vibration lifter. This is just what I do. This is what I came on this earth to do, to anchor in a lot of light and to show people how to raise their frequency and raise their vibration. And this is something that I just do naturally. And it happens when you're in my spaces. That just ask my clients. One thing that my clients say that they love about what I do is it is permanent rapid transformation. That's what they call it, rapid permanent transformation, because what happens when you do this type of work, you don't have to go back, right? Yes, everything is a spiral, and the way things shift and change, like when things come up, like let's say you were having a great business success, and then all of a sudden the belief that you thought would not come back comes back. It's not coming back as the belief it was. It's just at a deeper level. And of course, with the spiral, you just may revisit certain things. The reason why my clients call what we do is rapid permanent transformation is because even if it comes back, you shift it in instant because of the tools that I'm about to share with you. So in the time of chaos and crazy, we rise together. And we rise together when we are focused on our own internal transformations. When we decide that whatever is triggering us and whatever comes up, we can shift it and do it for ourselves. Because when you do it for yourselves, your entire universe, everyone around you also feels it. So don't think, oh, I'm being selfish by only focusing on what's affecting me, all those things. No, that's not the case. By you shifting what's going on with you, by you healing what's going on with you, you are affecting the entire world. Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through the tool for the Align Soul Alchemy Quantum Healing Tool. And what I want you to do, get your notes out, rewatch this video, save it, follow me, do all the things. But this is something that you will come back to over and over again, and you will get easier, it will get quicker, it'll be something that you'll do very rapidly. And I have a rapid version of this, but I'm going to take you through the whole process. Okay, so the first part of the process is awareness. And I have been told that I am the most aware person that everyone knows, even from my own mentors. They're like, Christine, you're very aware. It is a gift that I have. And awareness is the beginning of transformation. When you are aware that something feels off, when you are aware that you are being affected or something is affecting you, right? When you are aware of it, it is important to go to step 2 and acknowledge it. What that looks like. So let's say there's craziness happening in the world right now. And let's say you see something. I'll talk about my client. I'm going to use my client as an example and walk you through this whole process. So I have a client. She is a creator of color, and she is very, very affected by a lot of the craziness that's happening in the world right now. And so she knows the ASA process, the Align Soul Alchemy process. She's like, here we go. And I'm like, okay. So as she was looking, someone posted something and they were talking about everybody needing to love the supporters of the temporary regime, right? And I said, yes, this is what we need to do. And she's like, no, they voted against my rights. They voted against the things that I need to do. I cannot love them. I will not love them. And so I said, well, let's be aware of, right? You're aware right now that something is coming up and you're very angry. I mean, it was so much anger, right? So much anger. And it's so good that it came up. But it doesn't feel good when it comes up. So I said, you're aware of it. She's like, yes. So she's aware of it. I said, let's now acknowledge what you believe all of this means. And so I call the acknowledgement step, which is the next step. It's like the mean girl step, but it is where you're acknowledging all the things. And unfortunately for us spiritual people, sometimes we like to believe that we're above it, and I've learned all the things and I've transcended all the things. And so we don't think that we need to really like acknowledge when stuff comes up, but you do. This is the shadow battle piece, right? Because you're going to acknowledge all the things. You're going to say all the crazy things, the mean girl things, all the things to yourself that you wouldn't normally say out loud. You're going to either write them down or speak them aloud. And so she's thinking like, oh my goodness, that means that I don't matter, or she's just so much better than me because she can love it and she has a more privileged, blah, blah, blah. So she just went through and just spoke out and talked about it, and she was like, oh my God, I see that I'm in this hateful energy and I need to release it. So she just, no judgment, and you're acknowledging without judgment. You're acknowledging from an observation standpoint. Oh, that's interesting that I'm feeling this. This is what I'm going to acknowledge. So you're writing all the things down, all the things of what you feel is underneath what you are feeling, right? What you're now aware of. Once you get to that piece, this is where we get into the somatics. It's called the allowing and accepting piece, because we don't have to change it. I'm going to do a whole podcast. I did a podcast on this, but I'll do a TikTok on it too, about how we're not trying to change the circumstances. We are aligning with the circumstances that are more preferred. So when you allow it and accept it and just love on yourself as that, then you aren't creating more resistance that's keeping you stuck in it. So as she went through and she's like, okay, I'm going to allow it. I'm going to accept it. Okay, I'm upset about this. I feel this. I feel these things. And we're going to feel in her body where that tension was. So there was a lot of tension in her chest and her shoulders and her head. And like, so we tapped out those areas, and like she moved them out, and she wanted to scream into a pillow. So she screamed into a pillow and she just released all of the tension. The energy became, instead of being stuck in her tissues and her cells, it became energy in motion, and it starts like moving up and out, right? So she starts to feel relief. She starts to feel she's coming back to neutral, which is where she needs to be, neutral. Next step is the appreciation step. Appreciation is love. And so she starts to appreciate herself for this coming up. Thank you so much for showing me. Thank you so much for the awareness. Thank you so much, little girl, a part of me, all of the parts that felt like this. Thank you so much, ancestors, for bringing this up. Thank you so much, past lives. Like she really went into love and appreciation for herself, for allowing herself to come up and out of this. Okay. And then the final step is the alignment step. Now, this is the most important step, because this is the step that keeps going. It's the step that is your life. It's the step that you're living. It's the step where you are starting to align with this most preferred circumstances. You feel me? So this step, the alignment step, is where you say, I now choose to, back up. Appreciation step ends with, I love myself and I'm complete with that cycle. I am complete with this. I am complete with the cycle, the lesson. I'm complete with all of it. I receive it and I am now complete. That is important. That is a big piece, to complete it, because you are now done. Done learning, done understanding, done. Okay, so you're done. So then the next piece is the alignment piece. And this is where you get to say, I now choose to believe. I now choose. And so I now choose to believe that I'm loved. I now choose to believe that I can love anyone. I now choose to believe that my loving someone else is not like appreciating and accepting and congratulating them on the hate that they have. But I now choose that my love is healing, right? So she's now deciding how she gets to choose to move forward with this, how she now chooses to interact with the people that maybe voted against her interest, right? And so she decided, I now choose to love them. I now choose to love myself enough to love others and not need them to believe or see things the way I see them. She became more purple than blue, right? So she's come to neutral. She now can see, right, where she can change, and she can build on that. And building on that also includes this last piece of the alignment piece, which is movement, taking an action in alignment with what you've now chosen. So most of the spiritual, people will say, oh, do your affirmations, do all this stuff. And then they're like, it's not sticking. It's not sticking. I thought I changed. It's not sticking. The reason why it's not sticking is because you haven't moved in alignment with it. You haven't created new neural pathways that are in alignment with that. And a lot of people will say, oh, you can create new neural pathways just by repeating something over and over again. Yes, you can, but that's a slow way. Let me show you the fast way. My fast way, the Align Soul fast way, is taking a freaking action in alignment with where you're going. Okay. So that means for her, that meant going towards and actually deciding to show love and forgive someone who had wronged her. And at the time, her father is someone who voted that way. Yes, creators of color fathers, some of them did vote that way. And so she said, I'm going to choose actively to love him. I'm going to choose actively to forgive him and let that go and love him for who he is right now, not needing him to change, not needing him to believe the way I believe or want to support me the way I want him to support me. That was action. That was something that moved her. That was something that told her brain and her subconscious, we're doing it differently. And that is something that's going to create a new neural pathways to being the person who knows that she is loved and adored no matter what. Okay, so that's the process, right? Awareness, acknowledgement, allowing and accepting. You're going to appreciate, and then you are going to align, move, right? You're going to align. You're going to establish your new beliefs and say, okay, how would I move? How would I act? And how would I do things in these new beliefs? And that is what you need to do. Use this tool. Give me some comments in the notes and let me know how it goes.